Welcome back, everyone. Phoenix 3 here, and man, today a lot of shit went down. I didn't watch the full Nintendo Direct, but I came in when they revealed the cloud for Super Smash Bros., which I completely lost my shit from. I really should have recorded a reaction video to that. So if I were to make one now, it wouldn't be like genuine like I would want it to be. But I'm not here to talk about that. I'm gonna talk about that one in the next video, but I want to talk about Mewtwo that they had just confirmed was in this game. Now, I already know Mewtwo was going to be in it. I already know that Shadow Mewtwo was going to be playable. This confirmed today that Shadow Mewtwo is in fact going to be playable. It says if you buy the first production run of the game, which I am assuming is the pre-order of the game, you get the Shadow Amiibo card, which allows you to unlock Shadow Mewtwo immediately. So this confirms Shadow Mewtwo for the roster, which I hate a lot because this pretty much means to me that there will be two Mewtwo's in the game. You're going to have Shadow Mewtwo, but since Shadow Mewtwo isn't obviously the regular Mewtwo that everybody else knows, we will also be getting the regular Mewtwo as well. That hasn't been confirmed or anything, but I mean, do you really think they're not going to put the regular Mewtwo in this game? It's almost guaranteed. And Pokken Tournament will release in Japan March 18th for Wii U. So it looks like this game's not going to be getting a worldwide release on the same day. So maybe America, we might be seeing it on the same day. I don't know. But we may also be getting it later on in the year around the same time that Tekken 7 releases, which is something that I really don't want. I really hate waiting for stuff, especially when they're announcing it and saying it will be released here. Then the rest of the world has to wait forever. So we don't get to see any of the good stuff. We don't get to actually play the good stuff of the game. And by the time tournaments come around for it, like if the game's at E3, people from the continent of Asia will have a huge advantage over the people of the West unless you happen to own a Japanese Wii U and can get the game, which not a lot of us are capable of getting. I only own one Wii U, and I'm having a hard time justifying the purchase of it, and I really don't want to have to buy a Japanese Wii U just to play this game. It's not something I would be opposed to doing, especially if any of my favorite Pokemon make it into the game. Then I'll go out and buy a Japanese Wii U just so I can buy this game and then play it as well. The thing that I really don't like about this Mewtwo being playable or being confirmed before the regular Mewtwo is that this pretty much means that they could do whatever they want with this game. Like it's confirmed that this game will have over 30 Pokemon on it, which is something that I've been saying for probably a whole year. Is that if the game doesn't have at least like 32, which is what I think is the absolute bare minimum that it should have is 32, then they're really missing a lot of opportunities here. The main reason I say that is because there are a lot of Pokemon people want to see in the game. There are a lot of things that people expect, and I expect a lot of this game since it is Pokemon. But knowing that we already have a second Pikachu, knowing that we could potentially have a second Mewtwo in the game, and possibly a second Charizard, just so people could use Charizard Y, that's already three characters that are already, you know, being taken up from the roster that could have went to some other Pokemon that people were hoping to get into the game. Um, this here also means we could potentially be seeing Shadow Pikachu, which would be a third Pikachu in the game. We could also be seeing Shadow Lucario. That's a that's quite actually a strong possibility as a Shadow Lucario. I don't know if we'll be seeing something like Shadow Charizard. I don't think that'll be that big a deal. But we could be seeing, two or three copies of Charizard, Pikachu, Mewtwo, um, just a bunch of these other characters, which essentially take up more character slots than what they need to. Meaning the overall roster quality of the game goes down while we start getting either clones or other copies of the same character in the game. I simply don't want to see that happen, but that's the way it looks like it's going to go down. which is extremely bad for me because I want to see a bunch of different Pokemon come into the game. But if this is how they're going to handle the roster, then I really am not going to be too excited to see it. But we don't all know. This is just speculation on my part. But basically, on how I've seen the way Bandai Namco builds their fighters, that's probably going to happen the same way here as well. And it doesn't look like the Pokemon Company is actually doing anything to prevent that from happening. To them, they probably think more Pikachu, more Charizard, more Mewtwo, more Lucario means a good product, and it doesn't. And people are voicing their concerns on that right now. Like nobody is liking that we're potentially getting all of these clone characters or repeat characters. I mean, the only thing they had to do is look at the way people destroyed the roster of Super Smash Brothers and how critical they were of it. Now, I don't want to see that same thing happen here. But that's pretty much all that I had to say about that. I mean, there's nothing new here. We just get to see Mega Mewtwo X and Mega Lucario clash. This is pretty much the only reason why I think Mega Lucario may end up getting a Shadow form, simply because if this here is going to be the story for this game, where where to stop Mega Mewtwo X or Mega Shadow, ah, Shadow Mega Mewtwo X. Man, that's just such a long thing to say, but that's going to be the story of this game where we have to stop him, and we are actually seeing Lucario being advertised heavily in this game. Then we may be seeing a Shadow Lucario as well, just so we can have a fight between Shadow Mega Lucario and Shadow Mega Mewtwo X. But I want to know you guys' thoughts on this because obviously you already know how I feel about this, how I want to see it handled. But I want to see what you guys think about this. Do you guys think we can possibly have a second Mewtwo, like the original Mewtwo form? Do you think we will be seeing Shadow Lucario? Do you think we could be possibly see a Shadow Pikachu? Do you think we could see Shadow Charizard or just another Charizard so we can see the Y evolution? And most importantly of all, do you think the roster is going to suck? I think the roster is going to suck unless they do something to prove to me that it's going to be good and feel like a Pokemon game rather than just a Naruto slash Tekken game just with Pokemon in it. So if you guys like this video, then please subscribe to my channel because I'm going to be covering everything Pokken Tournament. Especially if new information comes out, you'll hear me talk about it. I mean, no one else is really talking critically about the game like I am, and I feel that that is something that we need, just so if they are listening to the West, they can see how we feel about the game. Be sure to like the video, and as always, I want to thank you guys for watching my video, and I hope to see you all in the next one.